I hate that we're living in a time period when restaurant food is simultaneously absurdly expensive and also aggressively mediocre.
I predict that tons of fast food and restaurant places are going to go out of business before they figure it out.
Riley, one restaurant put it plain and simple. They said they're broke, but they and other restaurants in this area don't want to close. That's why they're asking Richmonders to please come in and see them.
Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at the restaurant industry in 2026. With many people knowing this is already one of the most common businesses to fail and shut down, it really doesn't help that the high prices are pushing many people away as well. I don't want to make this intro too long because we have a ton of stuff to go over today along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
I predict that tons of fast food and restaurant places are going to go out of business before they figure it out. What am I talking about? The fact that it's so damn much money to go out to eat right now that people just aren't doing it anymore. And if they do it, they're going to places that have actually gotten it. What do I mean by gotten it? Okay, so I can go to In-N-Out for half the price of every other fast food place, and the food is better. I can go to Chili's, BJ's, or Red Lobster and get a meal for lunch for under 20 bucks or happy hour $5 margaritas. Well, you can't go to McDonald's or Chipotle for under 20 bucks now. Yeah, if you hit the dollar menu, you use the app and you do the little tricks and stuff. Me and my son went to Chipotle the other day. The video's everywhere. It was $52.64 for the two of us to get 2 bowls and 2 drinks. Like, these people have lost their minds. A lot of these fast food places and a lot of these sit-down places. Like Denny's, me and my son went to Denny's to have breakfast. It's a Denny's. It was over $62 for the two of us to have coffee and our breakfast. And I was like, what the hell did we eat? Yeah, we left a 20% tip, but I was like, $60 for Denny's? Like, are you people nuts?
So we'll also be talking about tipping a little bit later in this video, but going over to the comments, Taco Bell prices are insane, Five Guys is outrageous, and Chipotle should have been out of business years ago. Even some of the chains he was talking about that are doing better really end up using the same Cisco food. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well, but we'll just move on to the next one.
There's a growing resentment between customers and restaurants. Really, the hospitality industry more generally, but restaurants in particular. The issue is prices. Everything is too expensive. You hear these restaurant owners talking about, Gen Z edibles and GLP-1. That is a rounding error. That is not the problem. The problem is it is too expensive and people don't have money. But I think there is something more specific happening. There is no business that is more friendly and welcoming than a modern restaurant, especially the kind of millennial artisanal style restaurant. It is designed to look welcoming and inclusive. You go to their website and it's going to say something about being a neighborhood gathering spot and, some bullshit about nourishment. And then you look at their prices and it's like, oh, now this is for rich people. This is for somebody who is casually spending $45 on lunch.
And I don't have to tell you that most people cannot afford that in today's world. $4 for a fountain drink that literally cost the vendor 5 cents is criminal, and tipping expectations are unreasonable on top of the high prices. We got a comment from one of you guys. It used to be the older people that complained about how much more expensive everything has become. Seeing a 20-something-year-old talk about how things have doubled in their lifetime should worry everyone. And with the way things are headed, I don't think anything's gonna get cheaper anytime soon.
This is where we are in society. That's 8 pieces of chicken and some rice for $15. $15 for this, $15. Does anybody else have the feeling like there's not going to be any restaurants left if this is what's happening?
Yeah, I really gotta start eating at home for lunch. Is regular size Jersey Mike sub, a drink, and I did a bag of chips. $18.
Heading right over to the comment section, stop going. If most simply stopped, the prices would magically fall. It's that simple. And the creator responds, literally my first time in probably 6 years. But then we could head over to the next comment, DoorDashed a burrito and nachos yesterday and it was $40. The creator responded to that one as well. I complained, but yet I know I'll be back. We're so bad about DoorDash too. Oops. So both of those answers seem to contradict each other pretty heavily. Maybe you're not door dashing Jersey Mike's, I guess, but if you're door dashing these overpriced meals from the restaurants, you're basically just telling them that you're fine with how much these things cost, because you're paying for a delivery fee and tip on top of it. Another person saying everywhere is overpriced, but I refuse to go to Jersey Mike's and Five Guys. Those two places are just insane. No sandwich or burger is worth those asinine prices. And that goes really well with another comment from one of you guys, short and sweet. It just seems like nothing is worth your money anymore. I just made a video on my second channel talking about this topic, going over a ton of different examples.
I hate that we're living in a time period when restaurant food is simultaneously absurdly expensive and also aggressively mediocre.
I've worked in the restaurant industry for the past 10 years of my life, and I can't relate more to something I've ever seen in my life. Nothing is fresh. Everything comes from Cheney Bros Incorporated, CBI, or Cisco, and it's all just literally every restaurant. Same food, different plating, okay? Thank you and goodbye.
Never eat at a restaurant with a chocolate lava cake. That's of course one of the classic Cisco desserts. If you got a Costco membership, you could eat restaurant quality food at home. I'm a trucker and he's not wrong. Your food all comes from Cargill, Tyson, and Smithfield, distributed by US Foods, Cheney Bros, and Cisco. It's all the same company but split up to avoid monopoly laws and destroying your illusion of choice. And it doesn't stop with the food. Even the restaurants are basically all owned by the same people.
One day you wake up and realize it's all Rourke all the way down, just a bunch of Rourke sandwiches. We're all just walking around deciding whether to eat at Rourke or Rourke.
I can't imagine how many times people have seen something similar like what's up on screen all over the country. When you were so excited to try these diner pies, then they tell you they're from Cisco. If all these distributors are the same and then all the restaurants are owned by the same people, you're just going to be getting the same food no matter where you are. We got another comment from you guys here. Prices up, quality down, service down, and cleanliness down. No thanks.
Okay, so I just posted a video about how once you work somewhere, you're not going to use their services again because you find out how nasty they actually are. Oh my god, you guys are commenting your workplaces and why you won't eat there? I think I'm just going to start cooking from home, and apparently everywhere is nasty. This is disgusting. I'm just going to start growing my own vegetables and cooking from home because apparently nowhere is safe.
I worked at Panera for 2 years. I never stepped foot in there since I left. Absolutely gross. Do not ever eat at Buffalo Wild Wings. Please never go to Dutch Bros. I'm not playing. All Subways have mold in the fridge, freezer, proofer, bread cabinets, cold holding units, and more. Another person saying, I work at Cane's and absolutely trust them 100%. I worked at Panera and don't go there. Another person saying it. But we could sit here all day and see clips like what's up on screen right now. Atlanta News First, restaurant report card, Mr. Fuji fails with an 18 in Peachtree City, with just a quick clip of cockroaches walking all over the place. Another example that made the news we went over a long time ago, where there was a worker smashing frozen meat on the ground, I guess to break it up, outside for anybody to see, just not a care in the world, and of course, somebody was recording. And with all these different factors, you can't be surprised that a lot of these places are hurting and closing.
All businesses in Richmond are pleading with the community for support. They say they're facing rising costs to run their restaurants and shops, and to make matters worse, less customers are coming in. Maggie Glass joins us live in Richmond after speaking with a few of those local spots. Maggie?
Riley, one restaurant put it plain and simple. They said they're broke, but they and other restaurants in this area don't want to close. That's why they're asking Richmonders to please come in and see them. When Ellen Hopper moved her bakery, Fat Rabbit, into this space in Union Hill almost 4 years ago, she knew the profit margins would be slim.
They always are. They always are.
Lately, though,
it just feels like these days it's even smaller. It's so thin.
Hopper calls it a perfect storm, with the normal summer slump along with a surge of unfavorable weather tied into how expensive pretty much all aspects of running a business are becoming.
So I do know that the restaurant business does run on fine margins and the prices of everything have gone up, but that doesn't mean your customers also have more money to spend. Maybe that was the case during COVID, even though the restaurants were mostly closed, but right now most people are not doing well. Going over to the comments, Restaurants told people if they can't afford to tip to stay home, and people are staying home and now it's a problem. Another person just saying, we're broke too. There's a lot of these types of clips that we've already seen before being uploaded all the time. Is the restaurant industry dying right now? We can't be the only restaurant feeling this slow summer. This was uploaded 1 day ago at the time of recording. It had over 18,000 likes and the creator turned off the comment section. So you could probably guess what most people were saying. They don't have that kind of money to spend right now and the prices are just too high. We got another one from you guys here, not eating out anymore. Don't miss it a bit, stressing over price, rude servers, and tips that are just not worth it. It used to be fun to eat out. And now in the modern world, even the menus are AI.
I would lose my mind if I received what this customer received in lieu of this item right here. So this right here was sent over to me. Clearly this is an AI image. I'm actually shocked somebody ordered it for 65 bucks, something that's so clearly AI. So this is the Mesa Tower wings, sliders, Moz sticks, fried pickles, loaded fries, and dipping sauces. Yes, everything is just like fried random geometric shapes. These Moz sticks look disgusting and sliders are nowhere to be found. And these sauces right here look like they would cause the next pandemic. Now for the grand unveiling for this $65 food item, and don't worry, the sliders did show up, just nothing else did. FBI, cops, Interpol. This right here is criminal. So just for reference, this is what it was supposed to look like, which almost seems like a threat because it looks absolutely terrible. And receive something like this that is completely different than what was advertised, yet equally somehow as horrible, because what are we talking about? Non-melted cheese on fries, barely anything else. Shut this place down.
I know many complain about how lazy people have gotten with all the short form content. Everyone's attention span is lower. Everything just needs to be now, now, now. But the sheer laziness brought on by AI is just absolutely unreal to me. I know the restaurant probably didn't want to take a photo of what the sampler actually looked like, but this is a clear-cut case of false advertising for 65 bucks, mind you.
Do not order a charcuterie board from the bin in Raleigh. This shit is horrible. Like, what? This is horrible. Disgusting.
SDK, I know this ain't your steak and frites because that is like 8 fries and 3 pieces of steak, bro. Like,
don't ever come to Guapo's a day again in y'all lives, okay? I asked for the nachos. These are my nachos. I asked, where the are my beans? She said, lift up the plate. Hold on, my plate stuck to the cheese. These are my beans. What the is going on here?
I don't know how you could seriously let those go out of the kitchen in the first place. But at least with that second example there, they're trying to make all the food look fancy. Even though it was just steak and fries, you know that appetizer was a ton of money. And if people can't afford fast food or chain restaurants, what do you think's going to happen when you have wildly expensive food?
Also, I just want to talk about the elephant in the room, right? Yeah. The cheese pizza is 40 bucks. The andouille goes up to 68.
I mean, we definitely did get blowback, and we still do get blowback regarding the pricing. I don't think that we have that much in common with your average New York slice shop. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that. I just think we're doing something a little bit different, which, to be fair, I could be wrong about. I've never worked at a slice shop in the city. I don't know. We just make a 20-inch pizza made of the best ingredients that we can possibly get. And it comes at a cost, you know, an extreme cost to us too, not just in terms of money, but in time, like, you know, wrangling all of these purveyors. I think that there's this misconception that people think that our grand scheme to get rich was to sell $40 cheese pizzas. If the plan was to get rich, we would not have opened a pizza shop.
We'll just go straight over to the comment section. The price, the glasses, wrangling purveyors. We do things differently. You couldn't pay me to eat here. I've never worked in a slice shop in the city, but I think we're completely different. Another person with an image of his glasses. We do things differently type of glasses. Wrangling purveyors, please. I know we've talked about the millennial burger joint, but I guess it's gone into the pizza industry as well. And real quick, we got a screenshot up right now when the food was served in a dog bowl. Hashtag millennial burger joint. I know people like to call places like Chipotle and Cava slop bowls, but this is taking that word a bit too seriously. Literally in a dog bowl. This is probably called the chow bowl. That feels disrespectful, and we do things a little differently around here with the man bun. But I have heard some places talk about fine dining still doing well right now. It's just the normal fast food places and chain restaurants restaurants that are hurting, but it doesn't really seem like that's the case.
Yesterday, the shocking news. Today, the reality. Several popular restaurants across the Bay Area have abruptly closed its doors. Vine Hospitality Group closed all 7 of its locations yesterday, including LB Steak and the Left Bank. Hundreds of employees are, without any notice, are out of a job.
Some of them picked up their last paychecks today. NBC Bay Area's Emma Goss is near Santana Row, where 3 of those locations have gone dark. And Emma, this announcement came fast and with no warning.
Shocked and saddened. That's how some employees and patrons describe it. And tonight, some workers are wondering whether slower lunch crowds may have played a role. After more than 20 years serving fine French cuisine, the Left Bank in the heart of Santana Row has closed its doors.
Well, I was quite surprised, shocked actually. I wasn't expecting it at all, and it's been a favorite spot for us.
Blocks away, the lights are out at LB Steak, also shuttered after more than 15 years.
So we got a restaurant serving fine French cuisine and a steakhouse. Doesn't seem like that would be cheap whatsoever, along with being in the Bay Area. You got all those rich people living around that area in California, but it still looks like the lunch crowds are slowing down. People don't want to pay that kind of money anymore. There's another one up on screen right now of somebody going over the top 5 biggest scams in LA, and it's just a lot more of these fancy restaurants, at least in my own opinion. I'm not interested in them whatsoever. I know the food and ingredients are probably not Sysco. It's not 100% guaranteed. But I just can't get over the fact that a single steak is $100. I'd rather just spend over $100 on good pizza or something like that. Maybe not the pizza from the clip a few examples ago, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. However, the people who are into fine dining don't think that it's worth the money either. Nobu needs to be on this list. I've never been to that restaurant, but I do know of it because that's one of the places people love to flex on social media that they're going to. Mr. Chow is one of the worst restaurants I've ever dined at in my entire life. I have nightmares just thinking about the food there. I felt like I was being pranked the entire time. The staff must be laughing at everyone. And you even need to be careful on where you go now, because even if you spend a crazy amount of money at these places, they might try to scam you on top of it.
The Atlanta restaurant that charged $1,000 on a $300 meal, that's now saying that it's a premium event recovery fee. Fabricated contract / agreement that the business sent over to me after we had already granted the money back to the customer. I went ahead and turned over to law enforcement because you can clearly see that this is a forged document and you forged the signature of the actual victim. Working with the financial crimes investigator, they uncovered 2 additional customers that have the exact allegations that are saying that one happened at a birthday celebration and one happened for a private dinner for a wedding reception. Both customers are claiming that once the final bill came, there are multiple charges that they had never approved of, and instead of them wanting to go to jail and get locked up, they went ahead and tried to scrounge some money together to make the final payment. The questions are lying of whether this is truly undiagnosed charges or is this something that is agreed to upon sitting? Is there signs that are inside the restaurant? Is this a verbal acknowledgement once you are in the restaurant? The investigation has already uncovered for the customers that are claiming that the fees are fraudulent, which they are, if they are not made aware of them. All of this over some food that you're eating for 30 minutes seems to be ridiculous.
What I also think is ridiculous is a restaurant thought that they could get away with this. They've done it multiple times. Random fees that weren't talked about or shown until the bill was given to them, and it's not even some odd service fee that's an extra percentage or 2. They tried to triple the bill. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Again, I have no idea how they thought they could get away with this.
Why are appetizers the same price as entrees now? Like, genuinely, what is happening? And when did that happen? I saw someone make a video about this the other day and it clicked for me, like appetizers and entrees should not be the same price in any world. Appetizers used to be like a fun little addition, something you'd add just to have on the table, all of your friends and you can buy a couple together and just snack on them. But now you open the menu and spinach dip is $19. Why is spinach dip just as expensive as a full meal? And don't even get me started on mozzarella sticks. Like, there's no world where 4 mozzarella sticks should enter the entree category in terms of pricing. It doesn't make sense. And for some reason, these restaurants are still calling them shareables. Like, oh, they're little snacks you can share with your friends. Like, it costs more than the meal. We're gonna be financially ruined if we all get appetizers. And on top of that, the appetizers are smaller. They're not the same quality as they used to be before. And for some reason now a burger doesn't come with fries. Like, if you wanna get fries, you gotta pay extra money for it.
Why are mocktails the same cost as a cocktail? Tell me why 6 wings are $18.99. Burgers not coming with fries anymore makes me mad, and it all comes from the Sysco catalog. But even with cutting down the cost buying from those types of companies, we're now seeing places find even more ways to cut down on their bottom line.
Hi, welcome to Wendy's. You can start placing your order when ready.
Hey, can I get a Dave's triple with cheeseburger and a Baconator fry? And that will do it.
Would you like to make them a combo?
No?
What else would you like?
I just said that was it. I said that was everything. You got a total for me?
Your total is shown when you complete your order. Would you like anything else?
No, thank you. Said it 3 times now. Come on, AI. Get it together.
It doesn't work, but at least it wastes a ton of drinking water, so fast food is no longer fast and no longer food and no longer cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a norm at virtually every drive-thru over the next few years, but we'll finish off this video with a couple examples of crazy tipping. The first one is $85 for frozen yogurt, which is insane in and of itself, but the original cost was a little bit over $70 and they still gave a 20% tip. The worst part is that they ask for a tip when it's self-serve. They didn't do a single thing. 20% tip for what? You tipped for serving your own frozen yogurt. I've made a few videos just talking about tipping culture in general. Everybody wants extra money for literally no reason. Many things now are just self-serve. Nobody helps you. But we got another one up on screen now. If you can't tip your server, don't eat out. The bill being $92.50, move the decimal for 10%. Then quadruple it, a 40% tip. Final total being $129.50. Learn to tip. It's not my job to serve you for free. I hope that this was a bait post, even though it looks like a normal restaurant, because there's absolutely no way you'd get a positive response from this. If you can't pay your employees a livable wage, don't run a business. There, I fixed it for you. Who tips 40% on a $92 bill? I'm good with tipping, but if I saw a sign like that, I'd turn around and not come back ever. And regardless if you tip or not now, there are a bunch of places that tax you for everything you could think of. Taxed for 5 different things for one small breakfast. The Benton County tax was an extra 1%, A&P tax, Roger Food and Beverage was 2%, Rogers City tax another 2%, employee benefits 4%, and Arkansas state sales tax at 6.5. These kinds of examples to squeeze every last penny out of you is never ending. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.